Don't get me wrong. Eddie Joe does love kids, but he also groomed kids because Charles was only 16, turning 17 at the time. But his mother, but yes, but Rolandis,
the real.
and in the apartments that I posted, I mean, you can go see. He got a bunch of alias names. He didn't win. Okay, back then, different social security numbers. So when
What's up, y'all, man? TikTok was messy last night, y'all. It was a lady that went live with Hillary and another lady, and she was exposing Charles and Miss Netta. Man, she knows them personally, so she was naming names like the cities they lived in, the different aliases that Joe go by. Man, it is so much she is talking about. Man, this is juicy. Make sure y'all grab y'all popcorn. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and hit that post notification bell so y'all know the next time I'm posting.
back then, like, Joe stated, they was in a very, passionate relationship and they was okay. Well, Darrell, the one that had, I don't know if I could say the word,
Just
the
say
H
the
word.
package. Just say the package. Just say
Okay,
the
the
package.
package. Okay, great.
Just say the package.
So, okay. So Darrell, I don't know if he knew, no one ever really knew that personally. And I knew them from a cousin that stays close by. And it's the name of a city. It's kind of a funny pronunciation, but that's the way that I knew pretty much about Joe. Being in the community as LGBT, at that time, Joe was representing that. He did have a certain, stage name. He did have a name, but everybody would either call him Eddie or Joe. He's been that weight size, and I know through the times, we've seen him go up and down through the weight size. So with that being said, Darrell Stevens was like, when they found out what he had and the sickness, Joe really didn't know how to take that, really didn't know how to handle that. And with Joe's family being Christian and his mother being, older, of course, and his aunt, the one he always mentioned about he's going to feed and everything, which is still living. I think her name is Annie Lou. If I'm not mistaken, her name is Annie. But they didn't really know how to take that with Joe's sexuality. And I have pictures with him and his mom that passed away. And no one really could accept him like that, let alone accepting knowing that he had this, package. So they packed up and they moved to Cleveland, Ohio, which you'll see a lot of people, family, some family that's in Cleveland, Ohio, that he can get away, because by it being a small town and you having the package, that, yeah, it can ruin your reputation. Joe been funny guy, been not the video type vixen like he is now, but he has been the type to make a fool of himself because he know that his face was starting to fade away. Now, with him, he stated when he did move to Cleveland, Ohio, before then, he did know Rolandis, okay? Rolandis name, he's named, his brother is Daryl, Deryl. That's Daryl. So that's Rolandis' other brother, the one that you all said that I didn't know Charles had a twin. Well, that's the other brother. He actually stays upstate too.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, it's not his twin, but they look so much alike. And if you go through, if you even look at some of the family reunions that we have seen in the past, especially his mother, they really have strong genes. They have the slant eyes, the brown, pretty brown skin. But his mother was not on drugs as bad then. I can't. It's so confusing trying to say Charles when I know him by Rolandis, or know him by
that's
D.
fine, because we call them by their original pronouns and their names. So if you want to call them by their real names, ma'am, you can go ahead.
Okay, that's better. Thanks. Okay, thanks. So, it's either D or Rolandis. And I know if, Rolandis hear this, he would probably be thinking, well, part of it is true. But Rolandis, he have been with another man. Curtis and Vince, those were that was Rolandis D, what we call him D. My cousin called him D. That is, the first two guys that he have, been with. I don't know, top, bottom, down, side, however they may put it, but that's what Roland is being before Joe, before all of that. That was him. He had the Lexus Gold car, and he did date women as well. He was in a relationship with a female, and he did think that was his child, not the one that they post, but it's by a light-skinned, high yellow girl. But I never knew her name, and I didn't really know because he was so into, trying to figure out his sexuality. And they have, if you go back and look, they have been calling Rolandis radio for a long time. My cousin can tell you that. She's right here. She can tell you that she's camera shy, she's phone shy. But as much as information she would tell me, and as much as I would know, because I'm 38 years old, so I know what she's 43, I'm 38. So with what all she have told me and what we all have learned of Joe, working at Wendy's, he'll deny that, but the manager is no problem, with her, Cheryl knowing what actually went wrong and why. Why did Joe and Darrell, the ex, take off and move to Ohio to get better treatment, to get better services? It was a little bit slow to get Social Security, for the sickness that Darrell had, not knowing that as a carrier, the person that you give it to, of course, could, pass away first, or they can get the sickness, the package even worse, or they can go through a lot of more lower immune systems. They can, their immune system would get lower and things of that nature. Yes, that is true about him passing away, right there where Joe was. But all along, if Joe would have did the right thing by leaving Darrell up there in Ohio to keep getting better health, he maybe would have made it, because I got a picture what you all see with them hugged up. And then you have a picture of Darrell when he's much, much smaller and very sickly and barely can walk. So I tried to continue to post, but it wouldn't let me go live. And then I think her name, she told me that it was called shadow ban. So I'm getting familiar with it. All I ever did was post videos, so I never knew about the multiple violations. So I don't know who could have did that in that little bit of time. But like you said, those are trolls. So
I'm going to tell you right now, it's him.
And he knows me. He knows Eddie Joe knows me. And then they did, we say Joe Eddie, or we say Joe or Big Joe, but it back at home it's, hey, Eddie Joe or Joe, and he didn't, with the grammar, with approaching every situation. The reason why he bite back, because Eddie Joe has probably paid off all of Silicaga, just about, the kids and all, which don't get me wrong, Eddie Joe does love kids, but he also groomed kids, because Charles was only 16, turning 17 at the time. But his mother, but yes, but Rolandis,
the real.
And in the apartments that I posted, I mean, you can go see, he got a bunch of alias names. He didn't win. Okay, back then, different social security numbers. So when Hillary speaks on this,
Can I ask you a question? Where did he get the name Netta? Where did he get the name Netta from? Like, I don't understand where that name came from.
Okay, Netta, it's like a community. Like Eddie Joe said, I don't have a preference. I don't have a, how it's LGBT, you get stud, you get, I don't have a preference either. Me and my partner, me and my wife, we're just lesbians. That's it. But Eddie Joe got Netta from when they was going through the names in the family. And Eddie Joe was trying to be in a family. So the name, as Eddie Joe would say, would be, well, just call me Joe Netta, which that was actually the name, Joe Netta, because he got tired of Eddie Joe. So like my cousin said, the town not the town, the group of family, the family, and he knows he was in a family. They got the Dior, they got Leonardo, they got what's the other name? The Perus, the Perus. They got different family names, and Eddie Joe was trying to find out what he should be a part of, what him and Daryl should be a part of. And don't get me wrong, they did have a pretty much tight, close relationship, but we understood why after Eddie Joe had then groomed him and got out the marriage. Eddie Joe was married, but when you find out something, us as individuals, as humans, most of us now, not all, I would say 50-50. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't run from, what I just got out of. I think I would face my town and say, hey, this is who I am. But when Eddie Joe did get out the marriage, that baby that's on that picture does belong to Darrell. That picture that they took with the red on and Darrell with the lights. That's he was married as well. Now Darrell was married as well.
Okay, because we got questions. It's because it's everything that you're saying. We kind of knew it already because of other sources,
right?
But he said that he was never married. He said that they was together for 20 years and, that he really loved him and everything like that. That's true, but he said he was never married to him. He also said that his demise over a heart attack. And then but the grooming part, the G word, I feel like you are confirming everything that everybody has said because we don't believe Joe 47 years old.
Right? No.
I'm sorry. He's not 47 years old. Joe is Rolandis is my age. I'm 35.
Right. Rolandis is 35.
The math isn't mathing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With that.
Right. Well, no, I was saying Joe was married. Joe was in a relationship. Joe. If the picture that they posted of the high school and the book and everything, he went ahead and he had been messing with women and he's been messing with men, but he also kept that on a DL. But Eddie Joe was involved deeply with a woman. That woman and him was in a serious relationship before he just flew out like this, that's why he was so undecisive with how he should dress. If you notice now, he's still that way, but he's coming along with more of the woman features, more of the, I'm going to, get my hair done and everything. But that guy, Darrell.
Hillary, don't start, Miss Hillary.
I'm sorry. Miss Safari, I thank you for coming in here. Let me say this. I know I heard you say Hillary, you were gonna say something, but honey, I don't know what this man how he could have been pleasing a woman. I don't know what he was doing. But go ahead.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying with what you're like when I mentioned you, when I was basically stating that, hey, Miss Hillary, she got something going because Joe has a lot of alias names. He have used a lot of different social security numbers. That's why he initially got cut off of his social security. He did not get cut off his social security. SSDI and SSI, SSDI. He went for,
He said we did that. He said we got him cut off. He said that yesterday. No. He said we got him cut off.
Yep. And that's when I started to say, you know what? Let me start addressing this. That's when I was like, you know what? Let me get down to the bottom of it, because that is not why, just because you started making money, even though that is a source of income for SSDI, and they will count that. And yes, they will stop your income every month if you're making that much money. But Eddie Joe was cut off. If you go And look, and I didn't have to go because I knew he went by Eddie Joe Robertson. Joe Robertson, you'll see Joe Netta Robertson, and you'll see it won't give his social security numbers, but it'll definitely give you all the names of what Eddie Joe has used and what Joe Eddie has used and Joseph Eddie has used over the past 15 years with that. And when Social Security caught up with him, that's why he's always stating that I'll just call my lawyer. He doesn't have a lawyer. The only lawyer that he got is the one that he's trying to fight against SSDI for all those alias names and changing his name for lights, water, and things of that nature, using false identification to get into those homes in the handicap apartments that he was staying in.
Now, Miss Safari,
Uh-huh.
you are aware I had clocked that T. I knew that this man was doing a bunch of fraud stuff.
Right.
And I said that, and all the TikTok was telling me I was lying. When I told TikTok that Charles got fired for fraudulent purposes.
Right.
I told TikTok that he was under an investigation for fraud.
Yes, he is.
That was for the Social Security office.
Yes, he is. Yes.
But people, they call me a liar because that's why they went on an attack against me to discredit what I was saying.
No, that wasn't that they shouldn't have did that, and that's why when I screen recorded just that part, so everyone, when I posted it, so everyone could see that, hey, look, I'm about to come with some receipts because I'm going to post all the names that Joe Joseph, Joe Eddie, Joe Robertson, and Joseph, all those names. Joe Netta was like the second to the last, and all those different names that Joe has used over the past, like I said, 10 to 15 years with using the apartments to get in, the handicap apartments, using to get lights on when the lights would get cut off. And he would change his name, turn around his social security numbers. All those are not allegations. Those are true to get lights on for his family.
Can I ask you a question, Miss Safari?
Uh-huh.
So if Joe is committing this fraud and all of this, why is Charles sticking around for it? Is he a part of it, or he just stuck?
Rolandis is stuck. Rolandis don't want to be a part of it. His mom really wants to speak out, but Joe constantly feeds her money. I'm not judging her, but she is a recovering addict. That's why she just started back working. And, Joe did give Rolandis some money. Maybe Rolandis had his own money. I'm not sure. But I do know she just got the vehicle.
So you are telling the absolute truth when it comes to that.
Yes.
Now, what has knocked my wig off my head is this about this disease Charles has. Were they trying to hide this?
Well, Miss Hillary, if it comes out, then, of course, Netta is crazy about numbers, views, about, a numbers dropping. My number is this. But she's not one to leak that out. And by me leaking this out, of course, she might throw a cease and desist. She might, try all type of things to get my page took down. But if it's okay, I don't live for TikTok. I just tried to get on there because Eddie Joe with all the alias names, and of course, Rolandis, I'm telling you this, we're not the first one to say radio, which, I don't like talking about anyone, but, we're not the first people that just discovered radio. They've been calling, Rolandis radio since he went to Job Corps and got his trade in welding, right? And how everybody was like, well, Charles got a good job. Charles got a good job. And with that being said, he went to Job Corps. He went to go study to get his welding. That is another thing. Whenever he did got ready to graduate. He received his certificate. Okay. When you go into a job, you take a physical, of course, for welding to see, make sure you can see, make sure your knees are good. They draw some blood. And sometimes you may find out then, well, not only, like I said, not only has Eddie Joe Netta, whatever, been grooming him since he was 16, 17, but the reason why Rolandis went to Job Corps is because
I'm
was
sorry,
ashamed.
I just can't get over the 16, 17. I just can't, because there's also somebody on YouTube that says he's doing the same thing to his nephew.
Yes, and his dad his dad, his, like when Netta was saying that I was taking care of Charles' dad. Look, his dad got a Facebook page, and basically Joe has paid Rolandis' dad, Senior, Daryl Alexander Sr., off to say, look, don't say nothing about this. Yes, he was coming over, cleaning up, but it was for the uncle as well. Joe didn't have a preference. It wasn't just with 16 and 17. Joe been basically hitting on, that's what happened at the jobs, flirting with the children, with the teenagers. I won't say children, with the teenagers at the job. The manager can speak for that if she would speak up, but I know Netta, Joe, whatever, then paid her too. That's where the money is going. That's why he has so many people watching his numbers that comes over, or Alexander that comes over. Alexander not coming over just to say, hey, I'm coming to visit. Alexander is coming to pick up the money. It's coming to pick up the pay. You got to pay attention to whenever TikTok pays off, those people are there. The lady that was in the background that knows Joe very well, they all say, it's called Truett Lane right there. And it's, I want to say it's Truett Road, Truett Lane. And they all stay in the back there. And it's like trailers and everything. And of course, Rolandis, he be out there. He mows everybody's yard. He washes everybody's car. And he talks to him. And they do talk to him. Joe family does talk to Rolandis about his situation of, why you tolerate this and everything. They do. We have heard, not rumors, but out of his family's mouth, out of Joe's family's mouth, of why you take this abuse. Joe keeps stating that I'm 47. Joe, you're 51. If you come out, you're 51. I hated to say this, but Joe is 51. He have changed his birth date over umpteen times. He have changed his social security number. So the more that he lies, the more that people go and dig up, because for one, you keep saying that, hey, I'm 47 when you know that you're 51. You're just trying to get close. You're just trying to get as close back to Charles' age so you won't feel like you actually groomed him, but you did groom him. Then you took him around. You took him to the grocery store because he was a daddy's boy and a mama's boy.
Miss Safari, hold on a second, sweetie. I got to back up a second because you just... Girl, let me ask you this. So this would explain how Joe Netta came on TikTok admitting to paying for fake doctor's notes and having them submitted to Charles's job. So he used to creating all this fake stuff.
Yes. The manager didn't create that. He can say that, yeah, I just, I got it and faxed it to him, because Joe is not that, how I can say, not that smart. He's smart enough to scam and smart enough to commit fraud, but he barely can type a full sentence. So, maybe the manager faxed it for him, emailed it to him, like he said, but Joe came up with the plan.
So Joe admitted it, and you're telling the truth, because he said it out of his own mouth. He said, we were paying for doctor's notes, and before the manager was even involved. This is what Joe said. So Joe, this is in 24. You got this grown ass man committing fraud in 24.
Right.
Okay, Safari.
I am literally, I am sitting here like my mouth is open because I mean it's a lot of stuff that we knew. You are the final piece of the puzzle because we are genuinely like something is really wrong. Ain't no way Charles is just willingly going along with this.
Right. And his job do want him back, to let you all know. They do want Rolandis back. They do. They really do. But they cannot continue for the abuse that Rolandis is going through with Netta. It's a small town.
And I said that, Miss Safari. I said that job want that tax credit. You know, they get that special. They get that special tax credit for employing him.
Right. And they did. They took a chance with Rolandis at first, but like he said, he'd been there a long time. But the first year that he was there, they loved him, and it wasn't no one never judged him because he didn't put his business out. Joe put Rolandis' business out about his sexuality. No one was into women was still into Rolandis regardless of the rumors. They never could confirm it. And yes, he was, with Vince, and, Curtis, but no one could confirm it. And those guys, they were, a little bit older than him, but no one was like, hey, no, we don't. No woman was like, hey, we don't want to be with you. They loved his work ethic. The women did. And it was mostly, mixed, white women. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, just mixed women that he was
That's why you gotta say Caucasian. But that's why Caucasian, not white. Just say Caucasian.
Safari. Are they really married?
So are they really married, Safari?
Say it again? No. They're not married. They're not legally married. They're not legally married.
If you guys aren't talking, please mute your mics because it's going to echo if everybody has their mics not muted. So if you talk, have your mic not muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm just saying, like, if anybody wants to talk, we'll have to have our mic, like how I have my mic muted. If I don't have my mic muted, it's going to be a lot of static. And if everybody's trying to talk at one time, we're not going to be able to hear. So, if let's just, one person at a time talk and, because this is what we've been asking for. We are so thankful for you to be coming on here. We appreciate it with all of our love and life. Okay.
Thank you. And I apologize.
Oh, no, you're fine. No, you're fine. You're new, to the whole live thing. So, of course, we have to let you know. And somebody sent you a gift, ma'am. But I clocked AT with the whole marriage thing. And that's the whole reason how Joe been coming on my page and trying to get me clipped and this and that and the third, because I clocked it. I knew they weren't married. For one, the marriage certificate looked like a template off of Microsoft Word.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
think about this, ladies. Okay. If they wouldn't have fell out with Carlos, right? And in the pre-recordings of the show that Carlos was, saying that he was going to get them, Carlos and the other manager was working very hard because they was not, I wouldn't say icons, but they was building a great brand for them. See, if that wouldn't have happened with that whole situation, and I'm only going off of social media because I don't like to go off of social media what I see. I like to go off of facts and what I know. So the reason why I'm going back to social media is to kind of put you in a dialogue, in a frame, in a timeline of where I'm headed to with the marriage. So if Carlos, like he stated, when everyone Googled to see about the app, the TV show, and that was going to come about. Okay, they was pre-recording, they was pre-filming, and Carlos was, of course, the pastor that was going to marry them or, get them together. But we all found out later that Carlos said, no, that was just something we was doing to get views and likes. And this was going to be a part of their TV show. They was building the TV show based off of that marriage. And then if it would have came out, we would have been now in belief was, yeah, they did get married, because we wouldn't have known then what we know now because we suspected that, hey, Carlos is someone that's marrying them. I'm saying if they would have kept recording and that BET Ward hiccup didn't happen. So that's when Joe had to come up with a plan as being Joe, fraudulent, to keep it going. So like she said, she went and found the template. It didn't match the same certificate that he jumps up and shows us on the wall. Okay, he said, you can go to Silicon, Alabama and pull up our records. Okay, now, this where I'm going to get you at that's going to confuse you. If Joe actually went ahead and married Charles, which that's not true, but if he did actually go ahead and marry Charles, then Rolandis, of course, he wouldn't be able to keep going through with his fraudulent case that he got with the alias names, because then it would bring Rolandis into it if he married Rolandis, and it would cause him and Rolandis to have, it would cause, not Joe, I'm sorry, it would cause Rolandis to have to pay back all that money that he was getting off of those alias names once they married.
Now, hold on one second, because you raised a good point.
Right.
So you tell me if I'm wrong or not. So this is why Joe, when I called him out for being under a fraudulent investigation for fraud, that he said that everybody knew him at the Social Security office. Everybody knew who he was.
And the reason why, you can go to your local Social Security office, just like I take my sister. Everyone knows her, but everyone knows that, hey, I'm not going to say her name, but I'm going to just say, Jessica. They'll say, hey, Jessica, girl, look, this your third time coming back trying to fight this. Just wait till your court date. You know that you didn't, collected this money and you was working, or you changed your name and was receiving benefits. Yes, everyone knows you, Joe. You was the, how I can say this, like they say, class clown. You was the city clown for Silicon. And you know that everyone knows you at the food stamp office. Everyone knows you at the grocery store. It's a small town. But at the same time, of course they know you, because you came up there raising, I can't curse, but you came up there raising sand about, your benefits being cut off the first time because of the alias name and the fact that you used a different Social Security. And after they do investigate, when he got the lump sum, that's why now they break the lump sum down in payments now when you receive SSDI and SSI. Now, I'm not saying SSI is strictly for mental illness, but if you notice, he'll say SSI, then he'll change it to SSDI. He'll hurry up and change it. And that was actually the first time yesterday that he actually had mentioned, with the SSI and the SSDI, but he has it confused because you went to the state hospital to get help. You went to state hospital to get help so you could receive benefits because what you had encountered with Darrell. You said you lost your mind. You said you lost your mind when you found out that you may have contracted HIV. So, you SSDI, SSI for, depression. If you do go to a state hospital, but you can receive help and you can get help.
Ms. Safari, I want to say this. SSDI is for people who paid into the system.
Right.
Who has a work record that has
right
SSDI, but if you don't qualify for SSDI, you get SSI. Now this is why Joe Robinson came on video yesterday admitting that he had been on SSI. He admitted it because he had no choice but to admit it, because my lawsuit against him is already out. He's read it and he knows that the truth was coming out, so he want to get ahead of it now.
Yes.
Once you get done with this show over here with Duchess, I followed you.
Right. Right.
I want to have you on my show, and I'm going to tell everybody in this room, I'm going to pay you for your time.
Right.
I want you to come over on my show for a week, and I'm going to clock, and I'm going to break it down. When you get done doing what you're doing with Miss Duchess, I want you on my show for a week. I will work with your schedule, and we are going to clock this from A to Z. You
Right.
already done it. I'm going to recap it. Because see, this man here sat up on his, and this is what I don't understand about him using these aliases.
Right.
You still an ugly ass man. You don't think nobody would recognize you just because you changing your name? They still know that's the same face.
Right. You said it's the same face. I ain't trying to let him face you.
At this point, I'm about to go outside and just start pushing my car down a hill. I don't know what I
Someone
just
said,
want.
I need some popcorn, not some chicken, but listen, this is what I got.
Notice that's why Joe do not go to the esthetician. He mentioned an esthetician for the first time that he couldn't pronounce yesterday, because with an esthetician, they're going to do blood work, blood samples. They need to get to the bottom of why reptilian, or what's going on. They need to know.
You know what?
No, but we do have somebody on the panel that is an esthetician. Her name is Pink, and she's been saying the same thing, that he needs to go to a dermatologist.
Right.
Yeah, he does.
But he won't go. Out of everybody that he has promoted from.
So y'all know that video I just showed y'all before, I'm about to show y'all this video happened last night. Well, this is the first time that Charles and Miss Netta went live, and this is how Joe was acting on that live. He was turned down. Charles was even trying to give Joe some compliments about his face, like they know that they just was exposed. Joe know that what was said last night was honest, because even after that, I was just on TikTok. That's gonna be a whole nother video. Make sure y'all go to my Facebook page, right? Charles was on live battling with a dude, y'all, and Netta made Charles get off a live because everybody was asking for Eddie Joe. Where Eddie Joe, and asking about that package. This is getting crazy. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and hit that post notification bell so y'all know the next time I'm posting. This is wild. Like, I knew it was some creepy shit going on over there, but I didn't know it was this creepy.
Yeah, they. Popeye just have, like, you can just knock on them.
And they don't put enough, what's called it?
Like they put too much flour. I don't know. They just be hard.
No, they don't put enough of that butter on that, honey. Yeah, I fill me back up right there. I ate it, yeah. I was still partially hungry. I was still full from earlier. So I partially.
Well, they funny the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could have kept that biscuit.
Yep.
Well.
Yeah. Or we could be taste testing something that we just got.
I mean, yeah, we can.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on waiting.
Okay, we're not on here.
Oh yeah. Can't wait. I want to make lemonade with it.
Well, you're going to buy your own then. Yeah, because I'm not been doing all that to waste my stuff.
No, he ain't wasting.
Yeah, it will be.
Nope.
I'm finna get up off here.
Yeah, there's nothing to do right now. Just, look at each other and look at these people. Since your face clear, wow. Yeah, glowing. You know that, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Skin glowing. Clear the nose. Now you
I was about to say we should have went out to eat. Should have sat down.
I guess. Yeah,
I had nothing to do until tomorrow in the morning.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. So I ain't had nothing in mind anyway. Feel like we should have stayed out longer, but who was gonna go? Man.
I don't know.
Yeah, we can go anywhere right now, and we don't even know where we want to go.
So I don't know. Y'all make sure y'all go get those seasons. The link is in the bio.
Thanks for the stars.
And
I guess somebody sent us some stars. I don't know.
we still have the 3 seasonings out. It's the chicken seasoning, the beef seasoning, and the all-purpose seasoning. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm down. I'm just tired. It's like I'm tired. We've been out all morning. Yeah. Then I ate these little wings and little stuff.
Yeah, that's why. Shit.
Popeyes and stuff. And hopefully we don't go to sleep.
Might catch a cat nap.
I'm cat nap. Well, I don't do naps. If I go lay down, I go to sleep. I don't take no nap. Ain't no such thing for me.
For me, sometimes the way how my sleeping time is, shit, it'll be like a nap.
Okay. We done turned down. We was wind up. Now we turned down and slowing down, and I don't know.
Yeah. Plus it's hot out here. Heat down warm.
It is hot. And that's what gets me to in that heat. If walk out there in that heat, it just be like, ugh. Swimming pool,
Nope. I am not going out today.
hot tub,
Nope.
nah.
Straight up the special. Hell no. I'm not gonna say I'm tired of the hot tub, but I'm taking a break.
Taking a nap, maybe.
Yeah, I'm taking a break from that. Clean that. I need it. Damn. I'll probably do that tomorrow.
What?
Clean that damn pool out.
Oh, honey, we don't gotta clean. I mean, you just
No,
clean it and cover it up.
We leave tomorrow. What time?
We leave in the morning.
Shit. Well, damn.
We don't have to clean that pool out, and I mean, cause we can just cover it up. We ain't get back in it. I ain't get back in it no time soon. So just cover it up and keep it moving.
That's fun.
Yeah. Do something productive with my life, like when I'm tired and I'm tired of working and making this money, go just take a nap.
That's productive.
That's productive. That's being productive with your life. You done did all the necessaries and the needs that you have done, and now your body has worn down a little bit. So now the productive thing to do is to go down and let your body wind down and take a nap.
Well, I guess we'll use your word for it. I'm gonna productively go take a nap.
That's what you about to do. Yeah, that's what we about to do. We can do something productive with our life.
Yeah.
Finna go take a nap.
Yeah, I'm gonna productively go take a nap. You right.
Okay.
Well,
And I'm a productive take one with you. How about that?
All right then.
Okay, y'all. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. We just ate our little snack, because that's what that was. It wasn't no lunch. It was a snack. Oh, y'all. Whew. But y'all have yourself a blessed day. And y'all don't count them sheep. don't go in there and count them sheep. Don't count them sheep. But that's what I'm going to do. See you. Bye-bye.
Y'all see what I'm saying? At the end of the video, he ain't even say, if don't nobody else love you, God love you, and so do Miss Netta. He was not fucking with the people today, was he?
Don't play with her, don't be dishonest. Ay. Still